right. Oop. What's going on? This is the Hidden Sound Podcast. I'm your host, Saint Ave, and with me, as always,
What? Hello, everybody.
is my co-host, Bradwick.
Oh, you really just put those glasses.
I
I swear to God, I just looked to the left. I was like, oh, okay.
I did not
Those,
have.
those are nice glasses, I'll say.
I did not have glasses 2 seconds ago. Literally just turned around, and Brad's like, "What the?"
Like Batman just
So yeah, all right. So this week is Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Spoiler alert, fantastic.
Yes.
As always, first section is comment watch. So this comment comes from TikTok, I believe, and it was in response to the One Piece restaurant post, which, once again, if you have not seen clips of the One Piece restaurant in Las Vegas, wildly disappointing. The commenter, Reki, said, "I'd rather go to a Frieren restaurant in the middle of the woods before going to Vegas for anything. I just don't like cities." First of all, I love cities. I'm an urbanist. I live in a city.
Yeah.
But I thought that was funny. A Frieren cafe.
I kind of like that a little bit better, though. Go out to, like, middle of nowhere,
Nope.
you know, something.
I hate nature.
I don't like camping either. As long as it's indoors,
because that sounds like camp. I don't want to do camp. I don't want to go to the woods. I would not.
Be like a cabin or something.
You would do a Frieren restaurant. You've camped and hiked and all that stuff.
I've hiked. I haven't camped.
Too close. Absolutely too close.
I don't want to be out there when the sun's down, basically.
So I thought that was funny. A Frieren restaurant. Though I think it would be cool if they had a One Piece restaurant on a boat. See, they missed the trick.
Yeah.
They could have built
You're right.
a cruise ship of some sort or a party boat, and then have the hire me. Hire me. Thank you.
Like by the water here in Philly, could have made a little ship, and then
we have those. We have.
Yeah, I know you have. Yes, I was thinking that. I was like, you guys have those.
Yo,
so
okay.
if one of those places closed down.
Free idea to what's the studio for
What, Toei?
Free.
That's Toei. That's I guess a production company, but like. So somebody in the
free tip for Toei Animation, man. Come on, get on.
Whoever's in charge of marketing for the show.
Mm-hmm. Anywho, that's comment watch. This week in news, you can start off with the sad news.
All right, we're gonna start off with the pretty sad news that came out around like about a week ago or so. If you remember, obviously the anime Pokemon from of course, remember it's currently everyone knows. But I'm talking about remember it from back when it first came out back in the 90s. One of the voice actresses from Pokemon is going through breast cancer. Rachel Lillis, I think is how you pronounce her last name. She's actually the voice actress for Misty, Jessie from Team Rocket. And I think she also voiced Jigglypuff. So I like a lot of like the major characters from
That's
Pokemon.
Quite the range, though.
That is a pretty good range. So she is currently in a nursing home.
Yikes.
So she has breast cancer, and it kind of now is going to her spine to the point where she can't move. And basically, she's in this nursing home, and she needs a little more personal care because there's so much traffic in the nursing home. So her sister set up a GoFundMe about a week ago. And the goal was 20,000, and currently it's at the time of us recording, it's 73,651.
That's good.
So a lot of people are coming out and helping her. So it's pretty devastating news because Pokemon for a lot of us is very nostalgic when we were all younger and stuff like that. And she's like one of the main played a lot of prominent characters.
Yeah.
So. She's also been trying to see some of her other credits here. She obviously she didn't do just Pokemon.
But see, that's kind of actually disappointing because for a property as massive as Pokemon and as iconic as the characters that are, Misty, Ash, all of them, and to have a GoFundMe.
Yeah,
kind of like, where are you paying people? Like that's the equivalent of The Simpsons in my eyes, and all those all those voice actors are very well off. You would just assume that she'd be very well off and not in need of a GoFundMe. So yeah, go visit the GoFundMe. Well wishes to her. It makes me just really disappointed at the compensation. We talk about it every week about the conditions of the working people in the anime industry, and it's just another example of someone tied to a property that's so massive that like.
Yeah, and then it's like she has to make a GoFundMe for this.
It's wild to me.
It's just kind of crazy.
Side note: even the person who made the theme song, I think they only received a like, from what I remember, like $5,000 to $10,000 at one-time stipend. I was watching an article on it. Maybe I have the number wrong, but they're not raking in money every time.
They're not making as much as some people may think they're
right, which is wildly disappointing. So I hope the studio behind Pokemon gets on it too. Like you guys need to be on.
Yeah, it's really really sad.
Y'all better help her with her fees. But
yeah.
But here's to hoping she has a healthy outcome.
Yeah.
Moving on, the next article. I'm gonna jump around here. So
all right.
I thought this one was funny. So the Kill la Kill creator said anime fan service is necessary or everyone will die.
I'm guessing he was just being funny.
Yeah, no, he was kind of doing a bit. He didn't quite mean it to that degree.
Yeah.
They were being interviewed about it, and it was kind of tongue in cheek. But what they're saying is basically, in this market, obviously you have to adjust yourselves to get into some markets, and it's okay. But being completely stale is going to kind of ruin the content, which I thought was kind of funny. Which, I mean, for Kill la Kill,
it was kind of necessary because it was in a way about clothes and stuff. So having some sort of fan service kind of, I don't say worked, but it made a little more sense to have not as many clothes since it was about clothes. But like with One Piece or something like that, like characters having huge titties doesn't really, it's not really part of the story.
Right,
it's just like this, we just like having big, cans for this.
Yeah, no, so a lot of it is gratuitous. I think we talked about it one week. A lot of it can be a little extra, but in the case for Kill la Kill, or if there is content where it's just clearly for adults, it's fine. They're being a bit more talking. I'll read the quote. Like, when we're making a commercial work, so if we want the audience to see it, I don't care if they say I don't get it, but I don't want them to feel unnecessarily uncomfortable. On the other hand, if we make work completely sterile, people's immunity will be weakened and they will all die.
I'm so confused. So basically, he's saying like I guess he's still being funny, but like, if it's lame, like I don't know. I think I get why he's
it's. I think a better comparison. It's like in the '80s with the action movies, and you had RoboCop, and that was just balls to the wall. People getting shot in the nuts. It was wild, right? And then RoboCop 2, because they wanted to sell merch, they were doing a lot of they toned it down drastically to sell toys and to sell merch and whatnot. So what he's basically saying is, well, and in the anime sense, a lot of the conceit is some of the sexualized nature of a lot of it. You know, some of it is a little creepy, and he's saying you can't go completely sterile with it because that ruins the uniqueness of it, which I get, you know, here and there.
And I guess like I think about like wrestling, because at a point they had to go into an era called the PG era, where they had to stop doing all the raunchy stuff that we remember from like
the
Attitude Era and stuff, because it's like we want to bring in kids, and then I think it was around the time that wrestler like killed his family and killed himself. So then it was like, all right, we're gonna have to change our image drastically.
Yeah.
So like by the late 2000s into 2010, they had to go into like a PG sort of thing because they wanted to sell it to more kids and have it be more family friendly and stuff like that. So I'm guessing he's saying that's kind of whack, and it's like,
see, the Attitude Era was too much though. It was too much. It was absolutely too much. And so
it was pretty bad.
So I think he's saying that like there's a balance.
Yeah.
But you can't be completely sterile. But he's saying it in a comedic way, you know.
Yeah.
So he's like, we'll all die. I was like, oh, that's funny. Next up on the news, Hayao Miyazaki, I got the name right for the first time, says the golden age of anime has passed. And a lot of it, I think, is around how maybe a lot of the animation styles are kind of becoming homogenous. A lot of the topics, a lot of the genres. There's another article I have where a studio director, I think of Neon Genesis Evangelion, was saying, you know, everything has to fit into the Shonen Jump style for it to get any kind of traction nowadays. You don't have a lot of room for experimentation, and so yeah, he thinks the golden age of anime has left, and there isn't much new left in the genre. What do you think? What do you think about that?
I see his point, because that, like, the shonen style is what really, really sells, I guess. Even though I feel like it's always not always been the case, but it's been the case for a while.
The shonen, yeah.
I think if they want, if like Demon Slayer, JJK, Naruto, like, they're all like super duper action animes.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's kind of hard to sell, you know, something a little more quiet or a little more toned down, because people may get, like, younger people may get bored with it, and it's not as, like, appealing to, like, a younger audience. They want to see explosions and power ups and stuff like that. So that's why they lean more towards, like,
I like explosions.
Huh?
I like explosions.
Yeah, I know I like explosions too, but, like, sometimes newer and I think, this could be the case with, like, regular TV also, where it's just kind of hard to sell certain ideas if it's not going to attract, like, certain audiences and stuff. Especially, like for example, I think, like, in TV here in America, the main demo is, like, so you won't get canceled, is 18 to, like, 45 to 49, I think. And that's always the target demo, so that's why they, like, some things may not always work, I guess.
What he says in the article is, if I can pull it up, he says back in the day it was like being a craftsman, and when you were adapting manga into series, there was, I'm just gonna read from him. So he says, well, so actually, who was this? One of the one of the animators was backing Miyazaki's claim about the golden age of anime being over, and he says that the younger anime creators are more like craftsmen, more rigid in how they just accurately adapt manga, as opposed to older talents who were able to freely use their ingenuity, resulting in many masterpieces, and seeing this even more talented people enter the anime industry. So, yeah, basically saying back in the day, you were able to do more with the work. You're able to have more leeway, because it wasn't such an industry. When something becomes popular, people have expectations. And back in the day, people were just doing whatever, you know? Yeah. And so now it's like everyone is, with all the critiques and all podcasts, and people are more sticking to the script.
You know what this argument kind of sounds like? I don't think he's making the same point as what this director said a few years ago, but I feel like it's going down that same path is what Martin Scorsese said about Marvel movies. And he was like, that's not, like, something about it not being real cinema or something like that. It sounds similar to that, but it's like it's leading to that conversation again.
It's a little bit of, get off my lawn, you kids.
Yeah, it's like, well, back in my day, we had the blah, blah, blah. Well, back in your day, it wasn't really like an industry. Yeah, as you were saying, it's not really an industry. It was more like still trying to figure out what it was. So you had more, I guess, you didn't have a studio like always hounding you or hounding you as much, I guess.
Yeah, they had its issues, but they're just different issues now. And so,
yeah.
And sometimes things have to die. Maybe this is the end, you know? You don't see, you know, like the rug craftsman industry is pretty much dead. You know, you go to IKEA or whatever to buy a rug, finding artisanal rugs is not a massive industry anymore. Yeah. It used to be, I'm sure, back in the 1600s, if you needed to have a rug or something. You know what I mean? So you know, sometimes the industry changes and it's okay, you know, and I think a lot of the old guard have issues with that. Now, it might be true that they had more leeway, but there was also less money behind it. There was less of an audience, so it's kind of a trade-off, right? It's like, you know, so I mean, there's something to take away there, but you're right.
Because if you look at Vinland Saga, that is a risk. That is a risk because they had all action, and then they just had a hard change into way less action and taken in a different direction. And like with how popular it is when it comes to all the action and stuff like that. That's a very bold move because I would like screw it, guys. Let's keep the killing going.
No, it's it was a really bold move.
Yeah.
A lot of it is putting on his blinders. You know.
Oh yeah.
It's like with rap music. If you look at just the top 40 or just any music, if you look at just the top 40, all you're gonna see is despair, right?
Yeah.
What is this sing-songy music that we're doing? But if you look at what's like in the I don't say underground, but there is better music out there. You know, if you look for it. So maybe he's not looking for it. Anywho, to kind of piggyback off of that, the Ghost in the Shell director. There's a lot of hate from old school directors. Jesus Christ. Old school directors got to get it together, man. Like, they really just... So the Ghost in the Shell director...
We didn't do this sort of thing. We did this.
No, for real. Like they're really coming out. They're really coming after the new guard. So here we go. So he says, does everyone hate the real world? Ghost in the Shell Arise director bemoans the rise of isekai anime. So okay, the Ghost in the Shell Arise. Maybe not the original director, but he's I think this guy has been around for a minute. And if you don't know, isekai anime is basically taking someone from the real world and putting them in a new environment, kind of like a fish out of water in a sense.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of that term, fish out of water.
Yeah,
that's what isekai is, and he's lamenting at how no one is making anime where it's just like you said, like some quieter anime. Hey, it's just us in our house and we do things, or just maybe it happens, but it's in our world. Everyone is making escapism style shows. Yeah, and so. I'm like, but I mean, it's just what's hot now. It's like superhero movies. It's just what's hot.
It's like they're using their imagination.
Yeah.
They're using their. I don't. So did he say something about everything has a game like?
Well, here's the full quote. There are too many stories that make you think, does everyone hate the real world that much? It's strange how there are so many stories revolving reincarnation. Recently, there are even works where characters are reborn as vending machines. I was truly dumbfounded, he laughs. When it comes to anime, okay, in his defense, that is stupid. Yeah. So I get it. When it comes to anime, it feels like there are fewer grounded stories nowadays, which is true. And yes, a story about a vending machine, that is wildly stupid.
Yeah,
right?
That's pretty dumb if that's real.
Wildly stupid. I'm not even going to hold him on that. But, I mean, it's anime. What do you want? Like, I don't know what to say. What do you want? I don't even know what he's complaining about, if I'm being honest. What are you complaining about?
He made that up. That sounds like a very conservative thing.
What are you
what are they... The vending machines now? I'm like no, that's not a real thing.
Like, what are you even talking about? Like, dude, like, okay, I'm sure it's a show, fine, but I'm like, it's anime. It's like, I'm so tired of people making superhero movies. Like, okay, like, what do you want from me?
Yeah, it's just like, oh my god.
I mean,
that was stupid.
All right, so
that was annoying.
Yeah, this is this week on old school directors being mad at the at new school directors.
Lord.
Anyways, all right, last bit of news. They are they're looking into making the first ever Dragon Ball restaurant. Once again, we just talked about it. One Piece restaurant. It looks hella mid. Haven't been there. If I go to Vegas, I'm definitely going. I will report.
Oh
back.
Yeah.
But the new Dragon Ball restaurant, it's not out yet. So will you go to it?
Look at it first.
I know, right?
If it was close by, I would go to it.
Yeah.
Do they have do they know the city?
Not yet. Basically, there are a few unlicensed anime restaurants of sorts that are out there. There is the Dragon Ball Cafe.
Okay, yeah.
That's one. There's another Dragon Ball restaurant in Texas.
Yeah.
So there is success with these unlicensed ones. I don't know if they'll continue to exist after the real one comes, but
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, they're looking at the success of the One Piece and Hello Kitty.
The thing is, they gotta find a way to put some money into it, like, because it can't look like the One Piece one, because like just the door alone, I was like, you gotta put some money to it so it can look like, actually like for real. Like, you can't just look that. It shouldn't look that cheaply. Like when they did the Cowboy Bebop live action, you can tell. They probably should have put some more money into this.
The One Piece Cafe, the door looks like you're about to enter H&R Block.
Yeah, I was like,
some insurance.
Is that my dentist's office? I just think they should maybe try to put some more like money so it can look a little more for real. But I mean, I hope it does. I hope the One Piece one does well, so then you can have other franchise or other series have their own thing.
I hope, because the One Piece restaurant looks like you're gonna walk in and you're gonna get someone selling you insurance.
Yeah,
it's just, or it looks like I'm going to the eye doctor.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, I want people to go so they can make some more money, so they can like upgrade their establishment.
Yeah, no, 100%. All right, so I think that's all the news. Yeah. All right, so on to today's topic. Today we are talking Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Just to recap, so this is one of the most unique stories I think I've had or watched in a while. Yeah, so Frieren has a party of a hero, a dwarf who I think is also like one of the strongmen.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you would call that in gaming terms, but anyways, you have a mage, you have like two warriors and a priest.
Yeah.
Or like your healer. And they defeat the Demon King, come back. Yeah, it's all in the first episode. The story is basically over. So like, the episode one story is over.
Yeah.
And this whole series is about what happens after the journey. And my first I was bought in. Fantastic.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Up first. Get my elf ears. I can't. I tried it on yesterday. I was like, to prepare for this moment, I'm gonna put these on correctly, and I'm like, how do I put these on? Wait, I got it.
You got it. Wait. Okay. Well, while you put the elf ears on, the best part to the show is the concept of time. So Brad, the elf, if he was an elf, the elves live, I'm guessing 1,000 years or longer than 1,000.
It seemed like over 1,000 years.
So yeah, the whole thing is the journey has ended, and the Frieren is at this point a few hundred years old, and has outlived her party members, and she's having regrets about not cherishing the time that she was with her party, because they've died off, and she's now having these regrets, and she's trying to relive and recapture the moment while progressing through. Did you get it?
I can't get the other one on. And they're too small. It is too small. And I have my glasses. I don't have my contacts either.
Well, it was a good effort.
I'm all ear.
This week on Anime Fashion, elf ears.
I'm sorry, folks. This was a failure.
It's all right, bro. We appreciate the dedication to the show. One here.
Anywho.
But so the concept of time with the elf is interesting because she has all this regret about not cherishing the time with her first hero party and that entire journey. And throughout the series, you get flashbacks to the original journey in comparison to the new journey that it's underway.
Yeah.
And what I like is that they didn't go matchy for the new party and the old party.
Right, yeah.
It is now 2 mages in the new party, and technically just 1 hero. They had a priest for a hot second.
Yeah, he just left.
And he left. I'm sure he'll be back.
Yeah,
So right now it's mostly a party of 3. The whole time thing actually kind of reminds me of having animals and pets, right?
Yeah.
Like we had rabbits growing up. That was like 5 years. Not even they were alive for like 2-3 years, right?
Yeah.
And when you think about the elf life, 50 years to her 1,000 is kind of the same thing. It's just, yeah, I'll be back in a decade. I got 2,000 years to kill, so
yeah.
And you see them explore how she perceives time. For example, they had to help. They were helping the lady fix up the statue of Himmel, the hero.
Right.
They were fixing the flowers, right? And she realized, oh, Himmel's favorite flower was some blue flower. And in order to create the flower via magic, he has to have actually seen the flower before. She hasn't seen it, so they have to go find it. Yeah. And they spend 6 months looking for this flower.
Yeah.
And Fern's her apprentice. She's like, we gotta go. We've killed 6 months looking for a flower. And you constantly have these situations where Fern is like, no, we gotta keep moving. Like, we can't just sit around. But Frieren has all the time in the world. Yeah. And so I thought it was interesting how they explored how she perceives time. And it's kind of just like, whatever. Someone died. Great.
Yeah, because I think that's what I kind of brought. It's like the age of humans and stuff like that. Because the humans have, like, I guess, more urgency than the elves do. Yeah, because it's like, oh, we gotta, and that's why more humans are becoming mages and stuff like that. And I thought that was interesting because not Fern, but Frieren is just like, oh, we'll get to it in 2 years. Like, hey, man, we got to get this thing done.
But her self-preservation is kind of weird because I'm like you just met Kraft, who's another elf, a male elf. Y'all need to procreate now. Like, y'all need to get on it. Like, and then Ciri, the head mage of all the mages. Yeah. I'm like, you better take her to Ciri, procreate. What are y'all doing? Like when they went through the mountains and they went to the cabin and they saw Kraft working out. Yeah. The first thing I said was, that's an elf. If you don't get to the back room and make a baby, there's no elves. Like, what?
Maybe she doesn't want any more elves.
Yeah, there's 3 elves, and it's just like I felt like I was dealing with pandas. Like, the elves are like panda bears. Yeah. Do you live to 1,000 years? Why aren't y'all procreating? What are y'all doing? Yeah. What are y'all doing? But other than that, that was my only gripe with the show were 2 things. One, the power of friendship worked one time. I didn't like that. It's when Stark was fighting the demons. Yeah. And he should have lost. He somehow persevered because he had a flashback from Eisen telling him, just get back up. So that was my only that's my only real gripe. The other gripe I had was I think the animation could be cranked up just a hair. Particularly, you can see their eyes through their hair.
Okay.
And that drives me insane.
Yeah, they were a little light on the animation.
Yeah. Yeah. Because some of the action set pieces were cool, but even watching like Spy Family, they had really strong set pieces. Frieren had a lot of good. That's the thing. The plot was so strong that
I wasn't really thinking about the fighting all that much.
No, I wasn't either. But when they had it, I was kind of hoping like they only have like 4 or 5 action points, which is a testament to the show that they don't need action to keep me engaged. Yeah. The 1 or 2 times they had it, I was hoping they would do a big splashy thing. Yeah. Speaking of which, the world building is fantastic. Mm-hmm. even the reason that Fern and Frieren only use basic attack spells, I think is so clever. Like their reason for using the spells that they use, hiding their mana capacity from the demons. You know, every bit of the world seems so well crafted to me. Yeah. I was totally bought in. The world building was top tier world building. It didn't feel like I was watching 27 episodes. To make a stark comparison, I'm going to pick on Jujutsu Kaisen again, but it's a lot of world building in the anime, just throwing things to the wall, trying to
like info dump on you.
Info dump, confuse you with action for half the series. And once again, it is a beautifully done anime with amazing action. But the story is kind of done haphazardly. This lore, it was so much when you think about it that builds this world up, and it's just told so well. I don't know. It was fantastic anime.
I thought it was great. Just like first her in the beginning, like, oh well, I'm just gonna go do my next thing. It was just 10 years and blah 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 blah. It was nice seeing her understand like these little moments that happen throughout the journey are important, and she was realizing, oh, I should have like treasured these a lot more than I did, because I just go through life these thousands of years. Like 10 years is nothing. Like 1 year is nothing. So it, like, I think she was eating at this. They were eating at this restaurant. I think it was near the end of the series.
Oh yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, like it happened throughout the series, I guess. Like her thinking back to her time with her old crew. Yeah. How they would just like go to a restaurant or did this like these small things for people, and she had to learn like, oh, these little things actually makes. It's more about the journey than the destination. I hate people say that, but in a way, that's what it is. And what I was worried about at first was like, with wanting to go see Himmel at that, I forgot what the name of the place is that they're trying to get to.
End? E-N-D-E?
The place where they're going to see if she can talk to Himmel.
It's called End.
Oh, it is? Okay, yeah. So what I was afraid of was she was going to be so focused on getting to that where she was going to like not think about her current crew. Right. That's what I was nervous about at first, but I was like, that's not really the case. She's actually kind of learning these things. So I thought that whole thing was pretty interesting. I like Fern. I think Fern is a good character. I think she's going to be set up as like kind of like the next Flamma, as the next great human mage, I guess. Since an elf taught Flamma, and then Flamma wasn't an elf, and then now she taught now Flamma taught an elf. So now Fern is not an elf, so now she's going to be the next great human mage. So I think that little what they're doing there is good. And the one thing I like what they did with Frieren, because like sometimes with anime with the stoic characters, you see them be like really serious, and then something goofy happens. It's like, no, blah, 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 blah. But with this, they kept her like very measured in her excitement about things. Yeah, like with going
her personality stays very. Everything that happens in the show is believable to the archetype that they set up.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Everything stays like basically it's her. She loves magic. That is her personality, and she's also indifferent to how time, or is less moved by the passing of time because she has so much of it. And those are the two main things. Yeah, and they stick. And her personality fits so hard into it. Like I love how they don't break her character that much. Yeah. And it's believable too. And I thought she was a little overpowered at first, but I like how at the end they have set up like, oh no, she might not be the most powerful. Because there's a couple of spots. Siri says she is not where she should be for a mage of 1,000 years. Which I was like, what? Oh, yeah. And then two, she has a flaw, apparently, which they had to exploit when they were fighting the clones. Yeah. And then 3, it really does seem like Fern will surpass her, which I don't understand how that's possible with limited lifespan of humans, but I do like how there is room for her there's room for her not to be the best.
Right.
And yeah, and then they even gave. I'm quoting from a video here, but they even gave us a tuning exam.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was not expecting.
Yes!
I wasn't expecting. I was like, oh, okay, we got to shoot.
We got to shoot an exam. Yo, I will get it. When it comes to anime, if you give me a tournament arc, I will give you +1 point. I am a sucker for a tournament arc.
I was like, oh, we got a tournament arc. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't my first major anime. I mean, Dragon Ball, but like my first time seeing an anime with Japanese subtitles on. Yeah. With English subtitles on was Naruto, and ever since then I just love a shooting exam. And it was well done too. It was
it was done well.
It was interesting. I liked it. It was an interesting spin on it, and I like how at the end of the exam, Siri goes, "Well, she's far too powerful, and she's an anomaly. So I gotta change the exam because it's an anomaly. I'm now the new anomaly." And she and it seems like a cop out, but everyone she picked to become a first class mage, I kind of agreed with. I was like, yeah,
it was good. Yeah, you know what's funny? That bird that escaped the ice. Remember that? It's like, bam! I was like, oh my god.
I loved it. I was this is great. This is fantastic. Because I love using your own lore to solve puzzles. Yeah. Like, okay, here's a puzzle, and now it means that the strongest person, the craziest magic, it's an exam for Shikamaru.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I love how they basically go. All right, in the first level of this exam, you have to use Shikamaru level thinking to capture these supersonic flying birds.
Right.
That's great. I loved. Yeah. I was so Brad. Like, I was writing with this anime, and then when they brought in the exam, I said yes, absolutely. Absolutely. This is great.
No, it was good. I was not expecting them to have something like that. I was like, oh, okay. All right, this is what we're gonna be doing.
Yeah, I love the fact that the demons they use language purely as a means of advantage to get what they want out of humans, and that's it. And they just say, like, the one demon was dying, and she was like, "Mama," and he was like,
"Oh, the one that killed that guy."
Yeah, he's like, "Why are you saying that?" He's like, "Because humans say it, and to get sympathy." And I was like, "Yo, what's wild?" like the whole.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, like the world building is so incredible. The only thing I want to know is like, yo, elves, surely y'all could procreate. You don't need need a lot of y'all.
Yeah, that's
you just need a few of y'all to be like to dedicate to the cause. You know.
Yeah, because they don't need too many of them.
Yeah. Oh my god, what else do I like about this anime? It is. There was a boob joke in episode 3. I thought was funny. It was so dumb. Actually, no, I did not like the boob joke. I thought it was dumb. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I do not.
I gotta go back. There was a boob joke in episode 3. I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah, I just really like the time aspect of it. Just like how like humans have to be more urgent, and she just like like I like how she has a lot more time. Frieren has a lot more time, and the humans don't. So like they're like always urgent about stuff. So I always like that relationship. And then like, yeah, it was just cool. Just like her realizing, like, oh yeah, like I was with these people for 10 years, even though those 10 years go by are nothing to me. Like it should feel like something though, even though I can live a lot longer than them. And another interesting thing going back, I remember early on, Fern was like, it feels like, you know, Frieren doesn't really think about me and stuff like that. And it's like she does. She just expresses it a lot differently than you know, somebody else might.
It's also probably just the result of someone who has nothing but time. When you have money, then how you act and perceive money changes to those who view it in scarcity. Yeah. So what it sounds like maybe the other motivation is that this character is based off of people who have just too much and how they deal with having too much at their disposal. They become nonchalant about it.
Yeah, we'll just take like 6 months to find this flower. Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal, right? It's like, well, I'm gonna be dead in 50 years.
And Fern was like, please, please, can we just be here just for a week?
Yeah. Here's a question for you though.
Yeah.
Is this show better than Full Metal Alchemist?
No.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
I can't. You know, you just can't like hold. You still want to hold on to the classics, you know.
Well,
and then something new comes along. You're like, oh, I don't know.
I think that because this show is unfinished, it's kind of hard. You can't. I mean, I know this is probably the best thing. It is the best thing this year, I think, and that has come out for a while. But at the same time, it has to stick the landing. One of the big asterisks about Attack on Titan, and the reason why I can't give it like. It's in my top 10 easily, but that ending makes me always go.
It's a little wobbly.
Yeah, it's the landing. They did the somersault off the pole, and then when the landing was very wobbly, right? This show has potential to be better than FMA. I just think that I'm hoping two things: a solid ending and just crank that animation up just a hair. I don't want to see eyeballs through my hair. I just don't want to see it. I don't care if it's a quirk or it happens. No, there's no reason for me to see eyeballs through the hair. I get it. Budget constraints, I hear you, right? Stop making so much anime. Focus on this one, you know. And if those two things, I do think there's a potential there. Yeah, I think it has potential, but it has to be a done show.
I don't know where the manga is right now. I think it's still going.
See, that's the thing. It's still going. Yeah,
I don't know how much longer the series has.
Yeah, it's still going. It has to end for the true. Is it better than Full Metal Alchemist, or even Steins Gate for that matter? But it has to finish first. That's my thing. So, but it's really good though. Highly recommend.
Okay, so I may say this wrong, and I don't know if I get the wrong idea about it.
I'll cut it if you get it wrong.
It's, in a way, this is, when it comes to relationships with the characters and like kind of like the progression, I guess, I think this is what I wanted Spy Family to do a little bit. Because you know how we kept saying like Spy Family was just like, okay, it's like this. It feels like all these episodes are just one.
100%.
They're just one-off episodes. It's like they have the relationship with the characters, I guess, already. It's just like they kind of. I feel like they should just be progressing it more.
Yeah.
And Spy Family just kind of. It feels like it just stays still a lot of times.
A lot of Spy Family, and the episodes that I think we consider. It's not filler, but it feels like filler.
It feels like filler.
It feels like, oh, we're gonna go from this creative. Spy thriller to a slice of life or episode.
Yeah.
And where the whole conceit of this show is to meander, and it does not feel like it's meandering.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going somewhere every time. Whereas Spy Family, once again, really enjoyed it. There are a few episodes where you're just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like what's going on?
It's like, let's keep this thing going.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
And we're not.
I think the big difference is Spy Family is a bit more pizzazz, but and once again, I love the show. It goes nowhere, right? half of the time, where I never feel like. Once again, they're just finding flowers for a statue, and I feel like I'm uncovering more stuff, you know.
And you see how important like flowers are in a way. How they, you know, it's Flama's favorite spell is making a flower.
Oh my god, 100%. Yeah, it all calls back. And even at the end, where Siri goes, "What's your favorite spell?" and he goes, the flower spell.
Yeah,
it's a useless spell. Like it's my master's favorite spell, and it's like.
Because they could have just chose like it's a super duper bomb, and it's like
right.
No, I just like making flowers.
Even the one of my favorite parts at the end was when Siri was asking, like for such in any lesser anime, the fact that Siri was asking people questions or just walking in and figuring out who it passed or not.
Yeah.
That would be a cop out for any lesser anime. But even each
Yeah.
conversation
Yeah.
was like so unique to the characters. Like I felt like I knew each character from the tuning exam so well. So when the old dude, he's like, "Huh, I could tell you were trying to figure out how to fight me when you walked in." It's like,
oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was like, and it's like, he normally if you were too old, he wouldn't pass you, but
Like,
fighting spirit
failed.
Right.
It's like,
But
okay.
if you looked at him throughout the tournament,
He would be somebody who would try to do that.
He lost to Frieren, and then was like out of mana and had a fist fight for the bird. He had a fist fight for the bird. I was like, what is that? And then
who's the first one she said that failed? It's like, you seem scared. I'm like,
the sister.
she's oh yeah,
the sister,
yeah,
or not the sister, the girl who fights with the other girl all the time.
right. I was like, yeah,
like walks in, fail. I was like, what? And then she talked to the guy who was the Imperial maid or whatever he was, and she's like, "What's your favorite spell?" I neither like or dislike spells. They're tools for killing. And she's like, pass. I was like, yo. I was like, good answer. Frieren
really good vetting process.
She was, and then even Fern was. It was just like, he's like, Frieren said I'd be impressed, and she goes, huh? Your mana is fluctuating, and she was like, huh? You are interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It was just...
Because it worked. Because in some other anime, it would feel like they ran out of ideas and it wouldn't really work that well. But they've built, like with Frieren, they built it up where it's like with the characters where the questioning matches what the experience of those characters went through or what we know about them.
So well written. Yeah. It's just... The only character that I'm like, is the cut girl. Like, right? Who just cuts through anything.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, so remember that she killed the first class mage in a previous tournament, so she got disqualified.
Oh right, yeah.
My first thing was, well, why do you just have him take the cloak off and then stand on the side while touching it and go, okay, cut through this, right?
Yeah.
Like, you just let him get cut in half. Like, even assuming he wasn't gonna die, like there's an off chance that someone might hurt you. Why did you do this? And then
did she pass the dude who worked from home during the exam who was like, you're not even really here?
Yes, that was
he was just going having tea.
He was having tea. Yo, I was like, I was just,
well, you passed.
This is basically Shinobi and Naruto. I'm watching ninjas.
He's sitting there.
That's literally Mage Konkuro, yo.
Oh yeah.
He's doing puppets. I was like, this is amazing. I loved it.
Oh my god.
Dude, I was so bought in. I totally forgot about that. That was awesome. Because he puppeted in a puppet, and he's puppeting the puppet that's puppeting another puppet. He had a 3-string puppet, and he's drinking tea. Oh my god. Man. I had so much to say before the tournament.
Yeah.
And then I got to the tournament. I was like, oh no, this is the best stuff in the world. This is amazing. It's such fan service.
I know,
it's such fan service. And I was like, it is the best.
Oh my god.
I have like, it is better than My Heroes tournament art. It's better than whatever the fuck JJK did. That was awful. It was an awful tournament. That tournament art.
I forgot what it was.
It was the
that was
awful.
That
was season one. That season one. What was it? East
some
West
some festival thing.
Oh, it was awful, right? This was amazing.
Yeah.
It was arguably as good, if not better, than the Chunin exam for real. Like it's on that level, man.
It's close.
It's close. Okay, fine.
It's one of those old things. I can't.
I know. Okay.
It's just so.
Is
hard.
it better than the actual Chunin exam, Frieren's exam, Mage exam? It's close, man. It's really close. This is the best tournament art that I have seen in a long time.
In a while.
This might be as I like it because I've watched. Remember, I rewatched Naruto. It's up. It's up there, man.
Because like My Hero had a tournament arc, which I thought was decent.
It was decent.
I thought it had some
It was
really
fine.
good
I liked
moments.
it.
I think Frieren's is better. Than that.
But it had a lot of power of friendship. I gotta muster energy. Yeah, there was a lot of that stuff. You know.
Yeah.
I had so much to say before the tournament arc.
And it was really good up to that point. I was like,
it was good up to that, and I was like, and then that
okay.
that arc just blew me away. Like,
yeah.
Like one of the cool things, I thought how she killed that other devil, the one of the 7.
Oh yeah.
There's always the 7 horsemen.
There's always a number.
There's always the 7 generals of the big boss, right?
Yeah.
But I once again I was getting scared that she was a little too powerful, even though I thought that it was cool that they were establishing how to get rid of and how she.
Yeah, that was a good thing it had in the shadow part. Because when the shadow thing came, I was like, oh, they're all dead.
Yeah,
and then they found out a way to. There's actually a weakness.
Yeah,
so
that
was clever.
Right, so I got scared that she was getting a little too powerful when she killed the girl. But then, right after when the shadow or the clones came, it's like, okay, so she has a weakness, right?
Yeah.
And then also too, once again, Ciri expressing her disdain that she's not even living up to her full potential.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting, right?
No.
And that Fern even knew what to do, you know.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
She just doesn't have as much mana as Frieren, but it is like, oh, maybe she will be able to. So I did like that they kind of, without nerfing her, go, okay, there might be bigger baddies out there.
Right.
They haven't gotten into too much detail about the original fight with the Demon King, but it sounds like it was Himmel who did the work.
That's what how they kind of
it doesn't
show
seem
it.
like
It seemed like he did a lot of the.
Because she said, and when she was questioning, when Siri was kind of
she was like, it wasn't really me. It was like
teamwork.
Yeah, it was.
She was gaslighting Frieren, but basically saying he was like, yeah, it wasn't me. It was I had help, right?
Yeah, she didn't do it by herself.
Which makes me go like, Siri, where were you at? Like, what were you?
That is a good point.
Where were you at? Like, what were you doing the whole time? Clearly, at the time, you were better than you're better than Frieren now, and it sounds like you were better than her then. What were you doing?
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah,
what were you
that's
doing?
Actually a good question. She could have went to kill him.
Yeah, the only thing I think I'm a little iffy on was the cut girl, because I'm like, so I like, she seems a little like she can beat everyone right now. I don't know.
She definitely seems like one of the stronger ones.
Yeah, I'm a little confused.
Yeah,
and once again, Craft. They have a lot of things in there like Scene or Sane and
Scene and Craft.
And Craft. They're gonna come back.
They got to figure out what they're gonna do with them. Obviously, they're coming back.
They called this somebody called it side quest the anime, and I'm like, not really to me. It's like
I don't think that's what it is.
I do think that Spy Family is side quest the anime.
Yes, that's a side. Yeah, that's definitely side quest. This did not feel like side quest.
Cool. But yeah, anything else, Bradwick?
No, I think we pretty much covered it. I think that was it.
Yeah, no, this is fantastic. I'm eagerly. This is one of the first.
Now I gotta figure out when it's gonna. It just ended the anime.
Yeah, so this is one of the first ones where I'm like, it did not feel like 27. Because even with Spy Family, some episodes are like, oh,
some of those drag a little bit.
Not a single thing dragged. Once again, the concept of time and cherishing your friends, it's a very emotional. Highly recommend. Yeah. Anyways, you looking up?
No, I was trying to see. When season 2 coming out?
Season coming.
It ended like a month ago, or a month or two ago.
Yeah, season 2 has to come out ASAP. It's just fantastic. All right, so I think next episode we're gonna do Akira, and then after that, I think Hashira arc. Or you want to try Brotherhood? Brotherhood's gonna be.
We were gonna have to start like
yesterday.
Yeah, no, immediately. Like we have to have get a good runway. To watch it. Thankfully, it's like stuff that we already seen.
Yeah.
It's just like just the new stuff.
We'll figure it out. It might be Hashira arc for Demon Slayer because it's a bit easier. And then after that, maybe I'll start Brotherhood as well. And then
yeah, probably the way to go.
Anyways, as always, I forgot to plug the podcast, Hidden Sound Pod. Make sure you follow. And that's all we have.
All right.
Peace.
See you guys.